So, hello and welcome to the first Withlocals live stream for a fundraiser this time. Heads up on why we do this live stream. It's a fundraiser to support your locals through these difficult times. So if you want, you can help them out by giving them a small donation at withlocals.live, and you can even buy some Withlocals merchandise, and then part of the cost for that will also go through to these hosts. What we'll be going to do in this stream is first we will have a few hosts that will guide you through their cities. We will start with Mia in Berlin. We also have a Roman guy, Simone, who will show you a bit about Rome, of course, explain how life is there. Then we also have a small panel with some employees of Withlocals. They will explain you other different things that the company is working on, including the CEO, Matthijs. And then we have the final host from Amsterdam, which is Sebastian, who will also give you an insight on his life. And to finish off, we will also be keeping a pub quiz, which are 20 questions, a lot of them geography related, and as a prize for that you can also win a Withlocals live experience. So be sure to check in and join that quiz. Explanation on how to join will follow later on in the stream. But to kick things right off, let's quickly see if we can have Miha ready. I think he is ready. Are you ready, Miha? Then let's quickly go over to Miha. There he is. Hello, Mia.
Hi, everyone. Hi from Berlin.
Hello. So you're standing here on a nice bridge in Berlin. How is life in Berlin these days?
Well, it's getting kind of back to better, I would say. You know, there's a change a little bit. You know, so the restaurants have opened partially. You know, so people are getting out more. As you see in the back, there's a lot of traffic going on again, you know, so it's been pretty busy. And it's a beautiful sunny day, a little bit windy, so I hope you hear me.
Yes, now the wind is fine, so we can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, okay, good. If it's going to get too windy, just tell me and I'll just cover a little bit, you know.
Cool. So
yeah, so yeah, it's getting better.
Yeah, so within the Netherlands we are getting a bit of less harsh measures these days. How are those measures in Berlin, in Germany, going on? Are there any less?
Well, in Germany it's different. You know, according to state, Germany has 16 states, and each state has their own rules. But in Berlin, you know, 2 weeks ago, the stores have opened. So there's still social distancing. Of course, you have to wear a mask in a store. In grocery stores have always been opened, and like big appliances stores were opened, like do it yourself, you know, that was always opened. But yeah, other stores up to 800 square meters opened 2 weeks ago. A week ago, the hairdressers opened, you know.
Yeah, because we can see that, Mia.
Nice hair, yes. And I remember everybody was posting on Facebook, you know, the first day I was like, enough already.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, now restaurants from today on, so it's getting better. We've been pretty lucky, I have to say, in Berlin, because we didn't have that many deaths or that many infected people. So yes, but let's hope it doesn't, you know, that this kind of easing of the rules will not bring more infections.
Yeah.
So people still need to stay careful. Yeah.
Let's hope we don't get a second wave indeed. Yes, because you're one of the first hosts that also started with the Withlocals live experiences, of course. And I can imagine with all the traffic becoming a bit more because people are allowed to go outside a bit more. How can you still do your interactive ride? I mean, is it not too busy? Are there no traffic jams that you're stuck in the traffic there? Or can they still continue?
No, not really. I kind of know my ways and I know when to go, you know, what road to take. So I always kind of try to take the best roads. so I am not stuck in the traffic. Berlin also doesn't have that bad traffic, you know. So it's not like LA or some other cities where people are really stuck in traffic. In non-corona times, of course. So Berlin, yeah, you know, of course there's cars and it happens, but for my tours haven't been that affected. Of course, it was like a dream, you know, 2 weeks ago when everything was like empty or not so many cars, so I could just go anywhere. But now it's a little bit more, yeah. But that's understandable, of
Yeah.
course.
No, but at least nice to hear that they can still continue. Because how do you think those experiences are for you? I mean, you used to walk around Berlin, guide people through, and now you're probably doing it via digital, riding around in your car. How is it for you? Like, do you enjoy it, or do you still enjoy the
Oh
other?
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be doing. You know, after turning 40, I just said I'm just gonna do what I enjoy. I'm not,
40, 40, we can't
so
see that.
so you know, I of course I enjoy it because otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But of course I do miss my walking tours, which has taken a little bit of toll on this tummy as well, because walking a lot around, you know, it's a good workout. But and biking, you know, but now I sit in a car. But I still enjoy it very much. You know, hopefully the walking tours and biking tours will come back. So I'm really looking forward to that, and the personal contact, you know, which now I have with over the camera, which is also nice. You know, I just have to keep in mind the times that people come from different time zones.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, it's been great. You know, still meeting people and still spreading the wonderful picture of Berlin, and yeah, showing beautiful places.
Yeah, that's really good to hear at least, and also I think that it's like a different thing you do than otherwise. But then we also have those with locals live, so you can still continue and connect with other people. So I think that's also really nice.
Yeah.
Yes. So I see a few, well, not questions, but more comments coming in. They really like your hair. Emmy likes your hair a lot.
Oh wow! Thank you. I like
Yes.
put some stuff on it so it doesn't fly all over. So it's like Betonfrisur, you know.
Yes, and also Mia Bram said that you could be my dad. Well, I think it's maybe because of the hair, but
Well, probably I could because I'm 46, so you know.
oh yeah, my dad's not a lot older, so.
You know.
And then I think we also have another question coming in from Reinoud. If Berlin has changed over the last few years, and then I don't think this is related to Corona, because he says he used to come here a lot for work, but he hasn't been there a lot in the last few years.
Yeah, it has changed a lot. You know, this whole area here.
DX
I
cat.
can maybe walk a little bit and show you. I mean, but behind me, let me see if I can do this. Yes, so behind me you have this bridge. So this bridge is basically still old like it was, you know, before. It's Oberbaumbrücke or Oberbaumbrücke, where bridge. The towers have been rebuilt after the wall came down in '89. So in the '90s. So it's now a beautiful, picturesque kind of bridge, you know, that goes all the way across to Kreuzberg. This is Friedrichshain. This building has been an old egg storage, actually, back in the years before the war. Now it's Universal Music, so it has a completely different meaning, you know. And then if I walk on a little bit, there's Berlin Wall, and just across the street, there's all these new buildings that were built in the past 10 to 15 years, you know. So it has changed a lot. I will show you a little bit how this looks like. Hopefully, I'm not shaking it too much.
No, we're still good.
So this is the Berlin Wall.
Oh,
see?
Yeah.
And I'm touching it now. Woo! So this is the wall that was dividing people or Berlin into parts for 28 years. It stood here, you know. So you have all these beautiful artworks. Well, here they're a little bit destroyed by the tourists, but as you walk on, you know, they become a bit cleaner. And on the other side, you have all this new development that you can see, all these new buildings that were not here because this was all empty before. There was,
Wow.
you know, it was an empty area. There's a typical East German car called Trabant. So this was a car that people drove. You had to wait sometimes up to 20 years. It was made of like plastic, durable plastic called Duraplast, because they didn't have enough metal, you know. So yeah, this is the East Side Gallery, and this is usually visited by so many people. There are so many people walking around here, admiring, taking photos. Of course, now you don't have kissing like we see a pair in front of us. But you know, currently there's of course less people, so it's not as busy.
No, yeah, we can see that indeed. But it's nice that we can. They all probably must have thought you were also filming the wall now, which you actually were. But yeah, that's nice. Quickly, going over the donations that we just got already. We have a donation from Sabasa for €1. Jarek also €1. Matthijs also €1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we're going there. Bartos, thank you for your donation. Ariana as well, €2.50. Maas 42 for €5 and Caroline for €10. And we just got another one.
Thank you.
And another one, Mia from Frank, who donated €10 just now. So
wow, I'll be eating again.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Thank you, guys. It means a lot, you know. So thank you so much.
Yeah. And do you have any other nice places that you like can walk to, or is it?
Yeah, well, here around, you know, it's actually just the wall. I could walk a little bit still to the most known kind of artwork over here. It will take me maybe a minute, but I'll switch the camera so you can see some of the other. Okay, I'm trying to do this. Okay, now we go. So I will walk to the famous Kiss. The famous Kiss is kind of the most known artwork in this area. And it's by Dmitry Vrubel, an artist who created an artwork named "My God, Help Me Survive This Deadly Love." So it will come up in a little bit. You can see there also over here you have the two ships which are turned into youth hostels. So there one is named Western Comfort, the other one is named Eastern Comfort, you know, so because this was the border between East and West Berlin. The river was actually the border, or the end of the river, because the whole river still belonged to East Berlin, so West Berlin started only on the other side.
Yeah.
But stay with me a little bit more.
Yeah, we got
There's also a nice one which says many small people who in many small places do many small things that can alter the face of the world. This is the African wisdom, and I think this one is very nice. Also, one of my favorites with a message. Basically, all these artworks have a message. They were created in 1990. So when they were removing the wall elsewhere, the 155.8 kilometers of the wall, they decided to keep this part and to turn it into the longest art gallery in the world. Yeah. So there's roughly 1.3 kilometers still over here. And, you know, it's a very, very beautiful art gallery. If you like street art, we're almost there. What I wanted to show you. There's the earth as well through the wall.
Yeah.
The big Kremlin wind. You know, some are political, some are environmental, some are just about the wall, some are about equal opportunities, equal rights. And they're talking all about different topics, but basically about a better world, I would say. And this is the most famous one. This one is kind of like the Mona Lisa of East Side Gallery. So if this was Louvre, this would be Mona Lisa. And it's a famous kiss between Brezhnev, who is the guy Leonid Brezhnev, the Soviet leader in the 70s, before Gorbachev took over. And then on the right, you have Erich Honecker, who was the East German leader. And when they met in the 70s, it was state visit, they kissed. This was kind of like how traditionally Russian politicians kissed, brotherly kiss. So this is actually based on a real photo, black and white photos. You can Google them, and you will see the photo is actually black and white, and it's exactly the same. There are several photos that the photographers took, and one was used as a base for this artwork. And underneath it says, "Mein Gott, hilf mir, diese tödliche Liebe zu überleben." So, my God, help me survive this deadly love.
That's really nice. So this is actually one of the highlights of this part of the wall there.
So this is where I'm gonna just hide the lips, the kiss. So this is kind of the one that it's mostly, here you will have like really heaps of people, like lots of people standing. There will be always like somebody kissing, a pair kissing here in front, and others taking photos. So you actually have to queue to be able to take photos here,
Wow, yeah.
So, and as the end, I can also show you on the other side, there's also Mercedes-Benz Arena, which is the largest arena here in Berlin. Indoor arena or event place, for 17,000 seats. It has, I like this one, How's God? She's Black. It's like a double shock for some people.
Creative.
And Berlin, over here, one of my favorite ones as well. And then I'll turn around and you will see Mercedes-Benz Arena, which is now, because all these buildings came up everywhere, it's kind of covered already, hidden. You cannot see the whole round form. But this is Mercedes-Benz Arena, and this is where I go to concerts because I live very close by. There's also a nice rooftop terrace here where you can have some nice drinks. So this is all new, like I said, And if you look closely in the back, there's a TV tower, which is the highest building in Germany, 368 meters high. I don't know if you can see it, but it's down there by the end of the street at Alexanderplatz. I cannot zoom, unfortunately, in this program, but also the third tallest building in Europe. So this is the new development over here, and across the river is already West Berlin or Kreuzberg, which is also an amazing district. Very, very cool district. Lots of young people live there. Also very ethnic. Lots of different groups of people from all over the world live there, especially Turkish people. So it's full of great bars, great restaurants, and really cool place to go, plus a lot of street art, which is amazing. But you can see people already kind of chilling here on the ground and just enjoying Friday.
End of the week.
Zola is opened. End of the week.
Yeah.
And this is the other side of Berlin Wall, which is, you can see this footing. So this is the original wall with the footing, so it couldn't flip over if a truck would drive on it. And basically now it's turned around. Originally it was actually on the other side, the footing, because if the trucks came from the east. On the top you can see the round top, which kind of prohibited people from climbing across, which was very difficult anyway, because you would have to run across the whole death strip, which was guarded by watchtowers and the snipers inside. So this was a horror wall for so many years, and lots of people lost their lives trying to escape here.
Yeah, we can see that. I also heard you talking about the rooftop terrace, and I think Reinhard had another question for that.
Yes.
He asked you what your favorite place is for doing craft beers in Berlin.
Oh, there are a couple of places that I love. I actually love going to Kreuzberg for that. There's Lager, which I like. There's zum Böhmischen Dorf. That's maybe a little bit more difficult to pronounce for others. Hopfenreich. You've got one of my very favorite craft beers places is also Straßenbräu, which is in Friedrichshain, which is my district. And they have like taps, different taps. They serve all kinds of beer that they actually produce in the place, in the building. Like also like with milk sugar, and like really dark ones, and all kinds of different beers. Germany has over 5,000 brands of
Wow.
beers, but a lot of craft places have developed, of course, in the last years. So yeah, these are a couple of places that I love going to. Um,
Yeah. So I
so
think
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think that definitely answers Reinhard's question. I mean, he has a lot of restaurants to go to now.
Yeah.
We also have another question coming in from Bram. He says, "Super cool, Mia. What do you currently do in your free time in Corona, and what do you miss the most?"
Well, I am actually quite busy with designing an apartment because we're moving into a new apartment very soon. Actually, we could already next week, but due to Corona, it took a little bit longer. So I'm busy with that. Gyms are closed now. So I cannot go to the gym, but I try to run around a little bit and pull myself on different things. And lift some stuff. But yeah, and then it's 24 hours is over, although the days are longer now, so there's much more to do. And there's also Netflix, so.
Yeah. Any favorite series on Netflix lately?
Oh, you guys have to check really a good show that I have seen, and it's called Unorthodox. It's happening in Berlin and New York, and it's about this Orthodox Jew. She escapes from Williamsburg, which is a part of New York or Brooklyn, and escapes to Berlin. So it's such a wonderful show. It's really, there's a lot of suspense. There's a lot of it's just an amazing. Maybe also for me it was so amazing because it's also filmed in parts where very close to where I live. But it is everybody that I said that to people that I said they have to watch it. They loved it, and it's amazing. Unorthodox.
Unorthodox.
So check it out.
Okay, so
it's a series. I think it's like a mini series, or it's just the first season. I'm not sure if they'll do another one. So yeah.
You'll hope
Good
that there will
job
be
with
more
this stream.
more seasons of it. Let's go quickly have a look at the donations again. We just got a new donation from Lieke and Eric from €10. We also
oh, nice, thank you, Lieke and Eric.
Yes, that's the support, Lieke, I think. We also have Tom Massini, also a €5 donation, I think it was. Yes, indeed. Miha from Berlin, but the colleague then also €1. Miek.
Oh yeah, the female Miha.
The female Miha, indeed.
Thanks for answering my question.
Thanks, Mihaela.
Miek also gave a €10 donation. And also Bram donated €5 for you answering his question. So thanks to all.
Oh, wow. Well, Bram, you have to come personally to Berlin, and I'll take you around to places. We'll have a nice drink.
So, Bram, now you know what to do. Is there anything else you would like to show us, Miha?
Well, around here, I basically showed you most of the stuff, really, because there's just a new development that is happening. They're still building a hotel and some new residential buildings. There's a big also development where Zalando is. Zalando is one of the biggest, most successful Berlin startups that build so many buildings here. There's a very fancy building in the back. Let me just turn to like a white tall building, where apartments are very, very expensive. There's a part of the wall also on this side, actually, because where they cut it out over here, they of course had to move it somewhere else. So it's now over here. As you can see, there's also part of the wall over here with some street art.
Hmm?
Um, and then you see some industrial buildings across the river on the other side with ships, which this area will completely change in the future because they will build so much, I'm sure. There's also, I don't know if you can see that far, but behind those trees, there's an old bakery, which is used as an event place now, but it's an old bakery from the First World War, which was an army bakery. They were baking bread for the army in the First World War. So the ships came in, they unloaded the grains because it was just next to the river, and that's where they've been baking the bread. So other places are actually further away, but now I'm in between the walls.
Wow.
So, some scary faces. You can see these panels where this is actually the 80s wall. The wall, of course, came up in 61. On the 13th of August, 1961, they started building the wall. But the first one was basically very simple wall. And then every decade or so, they upgraded it to a more sturdy, more kind of difficult to get through the wall. So the 80s brought this concrete wall, steel reinforced wall, which had a special footing as well. So people could, or trucks could not, if trucks would drive into the wall, it could not flip over. So this is the one that you can see here. This side is always every now and then they repaint it white, so there's some wild graffiti that comes up, and then every now and then they repaint it back to white, and then it comes back, and then it's repainted white again, and then it comes back, and so on and so on.
Keep people busy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Artists always need a canvas, so that's how it is, Berlin, and we respect it. We love our graffiti, of course, not if it's on your freshly installed front door, and it's some kind of just whatever. But if it's nice art, we love that, and it makes Berlin very special, So
Yeah.
It is an amazing city. You can be whoever you want to be. I strongly suggest that you do visit if you haven't visited, and take some more time. Don't just take 3 days or something. I mean, 3 days is also nice, the weekend. But if you get to, if you want to see some more, if you want to go to the local neighborhoods and just maybe explore, or just sit in a cafe and just observe how people live, how they move, you go party a little bit in the evening. Just not make it stressful, because then it's not fun.
Yeah, because we also had a viewer question about this. Someone asked if I were to ever go to Berlin, how many days should I spend there?
What kind of question is that? If I ever would go to Berlin? Of course you will go to Berlin.
That's question answered then, I guess.
Yeah. How many days? 7 days. Well, 3 is a minimum, really, or 4. Make it a long weekend. Don't make it a stressful experience.
Okay, so
just chill and enjoy it.
Take your time, go for a drink, go for a walk, do whatever.
Yes.
Okay, that's. I think that's good advice. Then we have another question coming in from Bas, who says, our new reality also means a new type of hosting experiences. Can you share what things you like most in hosting virtual experiences?
Well, I start in front of my door, actually, because I start in my car. So I just drive I fortunately live very close to this wall. So I start the tour over here. But, depending on the day, if it's the morning, I start it here. If it's because I live in East Berlin, if it's the afternoon when the sun comes from the west, I will start it in the west, because I, of course, want for my guests to have the better experience seeing Berlin, not getting the sun into the camera, but of course being on the other side. So, virtual experience, I love it when people just prepare. They get some drinks, they get some food, they sit down, maybe even streaming to their TV, and they just have a little party and enjoy. Maybe there's invite their friends from abroad, from different countries, different time zones. I had just recently a girl who was in California. She wanted to do a tour with her mother and her father and all the kids who were in India, in New Delhi. So, and I was in the middle in Berlin, so we had to kind of find the middle grounds. She woke up at 6 in the morning, and then it was 6 in India, in the evening. And I was like, I think it was like 6:30 in India. It was 3 o'clock in Berlin. And we did a tour, and it was kind of really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of special. You just have to mind, time zone. I did another tour, which was with Hawaii, and they were actually watching on Friday. I was driving on Saturday morning. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool. You adapt and you embrace it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's me alone in the car. It feels like, but actually I'm not alone because I have people on the other side. And I see them in the phone, and I can talk to them live. So we're all the time connected. I can zoom in, whatever they want to see. If they say, "Oh, Miha, what is that exactly?" I will zoom in. I will even get out of my car, get closer to the building. So there are some people who have been to Berlin and, years ago, they're like parents, who are now older, they cannot travel. And they say, "Oh, I had so much fun on that, in front of that building or something," so I will take them there and show it. And it means a lot to them, to see it again. So yeah, there's like lots of little things that kind of make your day. And I just love doing it, really.
Yeah, I think that's also really good to hear, and it's nice to see that you also adapt to it a bit, like different time zones, like you doing something on a Saturday morning, they're doing it on a Friday evening, or vice versa. I mean, it's a totally different dynamic, and it's nice to see that you handle this well. And I think also the answer that you gave was really good for Bas, because he also donated for this. He donated €2 as well, so.
Oh my God, this is like casino, ka-ching all the time.
Yes.
Do we have to stop?
No. Let's continue. And let's for one more donation as well. We also had Ayla coming in with a €5 donation. So yeah, and been with locals. That's me probably.
Berlin
I donated
€3.
So that's also really nice. So yeah, I think this was a really nice talk. Do you have anything to share for our viewers for now still?
Well, thank you for watching. It's and spread the word. Please tell to your friends, tell to your family. People that from. You can give it as gifts. What I do now also is I had 2 school classes from United States where I had 13 kids. And they were just learning. They were young kids, like 12, 13, 14 years old. They were learning about Second World War. And I took them actually to the places where it was actually happening. So they saw it. They saw the bullet holes. They saw where the bunker was. They saw really the actual places that I just read in books. And for them, it was like an amazing experience. Even for me, I felt like, wow, that I can do this for these kids, who cannot travel at the moment, and it's difficult to travel anyway for them, So that's another thing, So you can also, if some schools who are learning and classes and they need to kind of spice it up a little bit, they can tune in for half an hour and an hour. They all kind of know Zoom and all these apps already. Yeah. So there's so many possibilities, birthday parties, anything,
Yeah, that's...
So, but all in all, come to Berlin and visit us, because it's a great city.
Yes, that's very good advice, I think. Can I thank you, Mia? And then we'll finish this off for now. It was really nice talking to you, and I think a lot of the viewers also thought that. We had some nice questions. And then good luck with any future with locals or with locals live experiences, Miha.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Stay safe and have a great day, yeah?
Will do.
Or evening or morning, whatever you're watching from.
We will. Thank you, Mia. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Bye-bye.
So that was Mia from Berlin, who had a really nice guide about walking around the Berlin Wall, sharing some experiences of him. And if you want, you can also book him on withlocals.com, and then you can search for Miha there. So if you thought this was very interesting and you want to help people like Miha, you can feel free to donate at withlocals.live. I will also share the link in the chat, and then you can support the locals in these difficult Corona times. We'll go out for a 10-minute break, and after that we'll be back with Simona from Rome. So stay tuned and see you soon.
Hey everybody, it's Otto, live from Amsterdam, where today is my favorite day of the year, King's Day. The one day that 17 million Dutchmen dress up in orange, party like crazy to honor the king. But yeah, since we all have to stay inside this year, we thought of some ways to share our so-called orange fever with you. But watch out, it's contagious. Its happiness is contagious. Here are some ways to celebrate King's Day at home, inspired by the locals. So, wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you positive orange vibes. Cheers to you, and I hope we can meet soon and celebrate like the Dutch do in Amsterdam.
Every city has many faces.
Different flavors. So my Barcelona
It's not my Barcelona.
But we are all locals.
I'd love to give you my Barcelona.
My Hong Kong. My London. My Ho Chi Minh City.
My Abu Dhabi.
My Paris. Come visit my Barcelona.
We'd like to make
Our city.
Your city.
Hey everybody, it's Otto, live from Amsterdam, where today is my favorite day of the year, King's Day. The one day that 17 million Dutchmen dress up in orange, party like crazy to honor the king. But yeah, since we all have to stay inside this year, we thought of some ways to share our so-called orange fever with you. But watch out, it's contagious. Its happiness is contagious. Here are some ways to celebrate King's Day at home, inspired by the locals. So, wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you positive orange vibes. Cheers to you, and I hope we can meet soon and celebrate like the Dutch do in Amsterdam.
Every city has many faces.
Different flavors. So my Barcelona,
It's not my Barcelona.
But we are all locals.
I'd love to give you my Barcelona.
My Hong Kong. My London. My Ho Chi Minh City.
My Abu Dhabi.
My Paris. Come visit my Barcelona.
We'd like to make
Our city.
Your city.
Hey everybody, it's Otto, live from Amsterdam, where today is my favorite day of the year, King's Day. The one day that 17 million Dutchmen dress up in orange, party like crazy to honor the king. But yeah, since we all have to stay inside this year, we thought of some ways to share our so-called orange fever with you. But watch out, it's contagious. Its happiness is contagious. Here are some ways to celebrate King's Day at home, inspired by the locals.
So, welcome back. We are now ready for after the break. Hope you all had get something nice to drink or a nice snack or whatever. Because we are now ready with Simone from Rome. Simone, let's see.
Hey,
there you are.
can you see me?
Yes, we can see you loud and
Okay.
clear.
Hi, ciao everybody. How are you?
Yes, so let's show us a bit about where you are right now, Simone.
Sure. We are in Rome. We are in Roma, Italia. So we are starting here from the Circus Maximus, and especially that building that is the Palatine Hill, Il Colle Palatino, the famous, the most famous hill that we have in Rome, and the most important, I can say that, just because it's where everything began with Romulus and Remus. And everything started here. And now we are going to walk around starting from here, walk around the city center. We are going to reach the Colosseum. I present myself, if you want. I'm Simona. I'm an actor. I'm a 30 years old Roman guy. I work with the Withlocals since 2 years, maybe. Yeah, 2 years. And I do this with a very, very enthusiasm because I like to meet new people. I like to interact with the guests, and I like to introduce my amazing city. I'm really in love with my city, like all the Romans do, I think.
Yeah, that's very good to hear. And just as we started before, I can give you a quick story about the Circus Maximus because I didn't know you were here. When I was in high school, we had a teacher that was very athletic a bit, and he said usually like a lot of horses run around here, and then he came up with a challenge for us to run around the Circus Maximus. And I can tell you, don't do it right now, Simone, because you'll be out of breath at the end of it.
I'm already out of breath. I'm doing steps.
Yes.
So I'm going inside of a 3,000 years old stadium that now is a park. If you haven't been in Rome, that was used for the chariot races, like Pim said before. And we're now in the heart of history, and we have. In the normal period, lots of people coming here. We have, especially in this part that it's open, we have the virtual reality experience. So you come here, sorry, and you wear the glasses that shows you the Circus Maximus, like you say it in the movies, maybe like you say it in the Ben-Hur movies. Do you know the Ben-Hur movies, Pim?
I don't know it. No, I guess it's a horror movie. So.
It's a Roman movie, and it's a very, very old movie, maybe from the 50s, where you see it's set in the Circus Maximus with the chariot races. We're walking down here. Of course, it's not the same arena of the past of 2,000 years ago, but it's about 7 meters. The stadium is long 600 meters, and it's wide 140. So it's very, very big. Was populated and could fill maybe 250,000 people, 250,000 citizens. They wanted to see the show. So it was pretty big. That's why it's called Circus Maximus, because it's very, very big, the Maximus entertainment show stadium. And we are going now down the Palatine Hill. That is the emperor's house. The consul's house, the king's house. We had kings, we had republic, we had empire for a long time. And now I'm going back to the street. And today it's a very, very sunny day in Rome. It's very, very warm day. So usually in this period we have a lot of people coming here in Rome. Now we have just people that is going to work.
Yeah, because there's also maybe one quick question, because Bas asked, because you were talking about like a lot of people being there. How busy is it normally there? I mean, we didn't see a lot of people right now, but is it usually very busy or?
We use this nowadays. We use this for parties. We use this for especially when Italy national the football association won the war. 1 million Italians, they moved to Rome from all the cities in Italy. We use this in summertime for the concerts, and we use this for some of the political parties. So they put the show for the different parties. Yeah, it's not that busy during the day. It's busy when we have maybe people that want to go jogging, like you did, Pim, in the last time you came here.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very nice, and especially in the middle of the city. We are moving now to the Colosseum. So you see, in Rome, everything was surrounded. I mean, everything was close of the Palatine Hill, so the house of all the emperors. All the stadiums. We have Colosseum, Circus Maximus, Marcellus Theater. Everything was around the house of the emperor. Now I'm waiting for the traffic light getting green.
In the meantime, then, because you're still waiting for a traffic light,
Yeah.
we have a donation from no one other than Julius Caesar.
Great.
With a message that I can't pronounce, but it's something Italian, I guess, or Roman.
Okay.
But,
Okay, I can see the chat, so maybe I can see it later.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julius Caesar.
Yes.
Caesar, the
And,
great.
We also have a question coming in from Caroline. Is it true you can only drink cappuccino in the morning in Italy?
Well, it's better because if you come here and if you order the cappuccino after the lunch or maybe in the afternoon, we don't see you in a very good way. we drink cappuccino in the morning. Afternoon, we drink espresso, coffee, caffè. When we order when we go to the bar, we say, "Can you give us a coffee, a caffè?" We don't say espresso because the bartender already knows that caffè is small, is short. Cappuccino, yes, you can do it, but maybe I've seen very, very bad things when when I was a kid. I remember seeing tourists because I still living close to the Vatican, so I've seen a lot of tourists close by the area. And I've seen some people drinking cappuccino with pizza while they're eating pizza.
Oof.
What?
That's a no-go.
That's not to do. Okay, it's a very long semaphore. So yeah, but well, it happened to myself that I drank cappuccino in the afternoon because I didn't have cappuccino in the morning.
So it's not a forbidden, but it's.
No. It's an app that we have.
Okay. Then we have another question coming in for again the question for Rome. How many days should you spend there when you go there?
Rome is very big. It's the biggest city of Italy. So I suggest you to come here for a week if you want to see the best thing of Rome. I can say that we have lots of museums, but I can tell to you that Rome is an open air museum. So if you walk, you see the best thing you can see in a city. So yeah,
Nice
from 5 to 7 days is okay.
Maximus.
Just staying in Rome, not going out in the other city. Because I did a lot of tours with people who come here that they spent 2 days, then they went to Naples, then they went to Pompeii, then they went to Sicily. No, if you want to see in a very good way, Rome, 7 days, 5-7 days.
Yeah, I can also agree to that because when we were there, like 7 days was actually maybe even too short to be there. So I think that's good advice indeed.
Yeah,
So,
if you have time, maybe 1 month, but 7 days, you can do it.
Yeah. Quickly, a quick donation, by the way. Bartos just also gave us a short donation because he really liked your story about the Circus Maximus.
Oh wow! Thank you so much.
Yes.
So what I do on Withlocals now with this coronavirus situation is to do a virtual tour of the city through the poetry. Because I connect my two works, acting and tour guiding. So with the works of the ancient poets, with Orazio, Virgilio, and the new one, Trilussa, Belli, that are Roman poets. I show the city to the people. That is, I think it's kind of interesting because you can, see myself reading like a crazy guy in the middle of nothing, looking at the phone, reading you and telling you a poem that in front of the Colosseum or the Circus Maximus or the Piazza Navona or the best thing we have in the city. Sorry, maybe the light is not the best. Okay, we are back. In my back is part of an aqueduct that is connected to the emperor's house. Now it's broken, but this was connected till the south of Rome, where we had all the sources of the water. You know that the Romans, they invented a lot of things. One of this is the aqueduct. So where to carry the water on top to brought it to the citizens, to the Roman citizens, to wash themselves, to drink, of course.
And can you also go into the emperor's home there, or is that not possible anymore?
Yeah, we're going. I'm going to show you. Now it's empty, of course, with the coronavirus. During the normal days, we have a big line that start from there, but now nobody's here because we are just Italians. And here on the left side, on this part, we have the entrance of the Palatine Hill. It's a very big house. It's a very big open space. Okay. I will show you when we are there.
Yep.
You can see that over there we have the entrance, and in the normal days, especially in this season, that is the hike season, we have a lot of people here. A lot of people that are waiting to go inside. Now, unfortunately, it's closed.
Yeah,
because of course the coronavirus.
Yeah, indeed. Because talking about the coronavirus, how is the situation in Rome now? Are there any measures that are a bit less worse now, or is it still the same? Or
well, we can say that we are almost free to go outside till Monday, 18. We should go outside just to go for a walk, or just to go to the grocery store, or just to go to see our parents. We were not allowed to go meeting friends. And as you can see, I'm not using my mask just because when you walk and you are in an open space, you can not using your mask. When you are even in an open space with a big number of people, you must wear it. So we can say that we are in a very easy region of Rome, of Italy. We are in the Lazio region in Rome, of course. That is not so under the coronavirus. All the victims are in the north. Or the big number, the 52% of the Italian victims, they come from Lombardia. That is in the north region. It's the north of Rome, of Italy. So we're supposed to be good here.
Okay, so that's also the reason why you don't need the mask then.
Yeah. Well, it's always better to wear the mask, but when you are walking, if I walk and I wear my mask, I can go dying on the floor after 2 minutes. As you can see, we have the army here. We always had the army. This is a question that the guest, every time they told me, why do you have so many soldiers? We have a lot of soldiers. It's not popular in Europe, of course. We have it just because we had never been attacked by the terrorism, so we must be safe in front of in crowded places. So they protected us. And here we are. Look at that. We are going close by the Colosseum. This is the Arch of Constantine. And it was built, of course, by Constantine, one of the first emperor that was Catholic. And this is all of, I tell to the guest, I stop myself here and I start to read some poems about the Colosseum. And then I start talking about the history of Rome. then I start talking about how do they live, the citizens, the Roman citizens, how do they live? That is much more, interesting to me to learn how do the people like me lived in that moment, in that year, 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. And this is very, very close to the Colosseum. And over there we have the Roman Forum. We have the Arch of Titus, and we have all the temples of Mars, the temple of Athena, Minerva. Minerva is the name of Athena in Greek. That is the god of wisdom and the good war. And we are now very, very close to the Colosseum. This is the broken part of the Colosseum. And this is a nice thing to see. Maybe I try to turn on my camera if I can do it. Well, anyway, these are very, very ancient cobblestones. Look at, this is my feet. And I'm a very, very tall guy. So these are the real cobblestones of the past, of the Roman, the original ones. And then we have this one that are newer from the 1400, 1500.
We can barely see your feet, by the way. So maybe you could put it a bit lower,
okay,
and then we can.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Can you see it?
Wow. Yes. Okay. Yes. Now we can definitely see it.
Okay. So it's like, for example, if you go to Pompeii, you can see the streets all like this, because Pompeii was being saved in a certain sense by the lava of the volcano. Was there. And here, this is the broken part. And we can see the skeleton. And I can tell you that we can see nobody here. Usually here we have, I can say, 10,000 people in line. We have lots of people standing, taking pictures. People from all over the world taking pictures, taking video, spending time here, waiting to go inside the Roman Forum. Over there, we have the entrance over there of the Roman Forum. And now it's like very unusual for me to see this place and walking around like it would be part of my, part of my apartment, just alone or with 10 people. That is the most visited ruin in the world. So it's part of the seven beauties, the seven wonders.
Yeah, it's also real close all in Rome. I mean, we just stood at the Circus Maximus, and now you've been walking for 5 or 10 minutes, and you're already here with the next highlight.
Yeah. It's very, the city center is very, it's not so big. It's very, how can I say, attached. All the things are very attached all together. So if you walk in without a tour guide that will explain you the fantastic things of the city of Rome, you will spend 30 minutes walking around, and you see Colosseum from one side, Circus Maximus from the other side. You can see Palazzo Venezia, Piazza Venezia on the other side. You could see in a very, very few minutes lots of things. Yeah. Really nice. It seems that I'm saying always the same thing, but we don't have just the Colosseum and Circus Maximus. We are now in the part of this Colosseum is the ancient part of Rome, this one here.
Okay, yeah. And I see a lot of people commenting on the chat, a lot of viewers saying that it's surreal seeing the Colosseum so empty, and that the area there is empty in general. So it's a lot of people that actually are amazed by that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Look at that. This is the line where we have the people during the normal days. Yeah. Even if we are very close to the closing time, but usually even this period, we have people who are standing to go to the last entrance, for the last entrance. Yeah. And we have lots of things here because they're fixing the metro station. So that's why it's very, very bad to see here. And look at that. I'm under the Colosseum. Wow. And it's a beautiful thing. I walk when I work with locals, of course, the tour guide. I walk here 2 times a day, And so to come here for me, it's always emotional, and because we are very
Looks like we are having a bad connection right now with Simona. Let's see if we can... there we go. Yes, we are back, Simona. You have muted yourself, I think.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah, we can hear and see you again.
Okay. So I would say that I come here every time when I work with locals 2 times a day. And it's always a good feeling, a good emotion to come here as a Roman, as I said, because I'm very, very proud to be part of this city. And I'm proud of all the story that we had back in the days. And so the Colosseum, to say something about the Colosseum, was built around the 80 after Christ. So has more than 2,000 years of history. And was used for the Romans as a place of entertainment, where to see the animal fights, where to see the hunts, where to see the public executions, and of course to see the gladiator fights. Everybody knows, you see in the movies, the emperor who makes this or this, but this is not true. Especially in the gladiator, you see this to save the other gladiator and this to kill him, but it's not true. It's just Hollywood fiction. This was used, the Roman salute to save him, and the punch, the fist to kill him. The Roman salute to say it was good. I want to see him again. I want to see him the day after, or I want to see him training more to be better. And if you go, of course, inside the Roman the Colosseum, you will see that we have lots of stones, lots of ruins. That's why it's better to go with a guide, with a tour guide inside the Colosseum, because otherwise you won't understand nothing. Present. You wouldn't remember nothing about what you see. It's just a group of bricks, group of ruins, one above the other. Yeah. But if you go with a good tour guide that we have, of course, in Withlocals, I'm not one of them because I don't do the tours inside the Colosseum. But if you can, of course, book lots of, you can choose, pick your own one, tour guide for the Colosseum to listen the amazing story that happened inside, and all the experience become better if you come with one of them.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like it looks really nice as well, but knowing the backstory behind why it's built like this and stuff, I think that's really the power of what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Look at the silence. It's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm down this. I mean, one of the, as I said, the most visited thing in the world, and with no people, no sounds, no talking, no tourist.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for the opening that happens soon, but I think it's not so soon as we think.
No,
I will be very, very soon. And let me go even. I wanna. If you have time together, otherwise, just tell me if we must finish.
No, we have a few minutes left. And I can also quickly say that we have another donation coming in from Tom Massini.
Great.
So that's also really nice.
Good.
And
thank you so much.
I also have 2 other questions about entertainment in particular, I think. One of the questions was SS Lazio or AS Roma? So which one are you in favor of?
Never pronounce SS Lazio when I'm there.
Okay.
I'm a Roma fan.
Okay. So that's
AS Roma. SS Lazio.
So
no.
AS is
even the word Roma. No, I live in Roma, and my football team is Roma.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell me.
And the other one was how's life in Rome without football right now?
Well, for us that we are Romans, we are Roma fan, I can tell you that it's a bit better because we were in a very, very bad situation. Yeah, we were in the 5th position, and Lazio was close to win the league. So it's much better for us that they stopped the league because Lazio was going to win the league. So I'm very, very happy.
Okay, that's at least a bit of positivity then, I guess.
Yeah, bit of positivity. So this year, it's our meeting point when I start the tour, and nobody's here now. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow, yeah.
Very, very crazy. And here we have an amazing, very, very old fountain that it's still working. You know, you must know that in Rome we have, look at that, I'm going to drink it because I'm thirsty. You should know that in Rome we have very, very clean water. So if you come to Rome, you will see that we have lots of little fountains, free drinking for everybody, that are called nasone, big nose. You will see it that are very, very, we have more than 5,000 nasone in Rome where you can drink because the water comes clean from all the sources, from the lakes that we have and the mountains that we have around the city.
It's all fresh water, so it's, you can just refill your bottle
water,
there and...
Exactly, yes. I did a lot of tours with people who said, no, I don't trust you because we are in Mexico, we have a bad water. Here in America, in the US, we have a bad water. Then they try it and they say, wow, it's good. And they trust me after. Because I showed them that I was drinking. Yeah. And I didn't die, so I was okay. And they say, okay, we trust you.
Yeah, that's at least a nice tip to know once you're in Rome then.
Yeah, yes. You should try a lot of things in Rome about food if you like food. We have a lot of different types of pasta. Oh my God, what happened? Different types of pasta. We have carbonara, of course, that is Roman. We have amatriciana. Then we have cacio e pepe, cheese and pepper. Then we have grisha. We have the delicious pastas of Italy, I think. Then we have a lot of pizzas. Our way to make the pizza that is very thin and crunchy. The pizza street food that is squared, that is not rounded. What? For example, if you go to Naples, they have the rounded fried pizza street food. They don't have a square like we have. Of course, they have a different recipe in Naples. It's more thick. It's a bit more gummy than we have. In Rome, it's more thin. And it's very, very light compared to the Napolitan one.
And if you would have to pick from all of those specialties, which one would be your your most favorite Italian food?
Well, I will definitely pick dish of pasta. I will definitely pick carbonara. That is very, very good. Or maybe amatriciana. I'm in a big fight with the two of those. And then I will definitely take pollo alla cacciatora. It's like chicken cacciatora. It's a type of a recipe of how to make the chicken here that is typically from the center of Italy. And pollo alla cacciatora with potatoes. And of course, to finish, a very good gelato. That is the best thing to have as a cake, especially in this season. That it's very,
Great
very
idea, guys. Great to
refreshing.
See Rome.
And if you come with me, I will show you the best. Maybe when they reopen the city, when they reopen the gates of Italy, I will show you the best gelato in town. That is amazing, I think. After this interview, I will go there.
Yeah, that's to get a nice, refreshing gelato. Yes,
yeah.
That sounds really, really nice. I think we're almost there for the time, Simona. I can quickly also share with you that we also have one more donation from Miha, the previous host from Berlin.
Great, Miha. Thank you. Thank you so much.
He donated.
I'm very close to the Roman. Yeah, sorry.
He donated €10 and he said, "Great idea, guys, and it's great to see Rome."
Okay, thank you so much, Mia. We are now, I'm going to finish the interview very close to the Roman Forum. So I'll show you some of the other forums. As you can see in my back, the Colosseum. So I'm going to cross the street now so I can show you the last part and we say goodbye.
That's fine.
In the middle of the street here that no one is walking and no cars because this part is blocked because of the terrorism. So we have just the taxi drivers and policemen and the buses. There are no cars allowed here just because of the terrorism with the trucks. So it's better to be close.
Yeah.
After this, we are very close to another very huge thing. Maybe you can see it over there. I don't see myself, but maybe you can. Over there, where it's called the Vittoriano. It's a new building built in the beginning of the 1900s by the king. So other part of history. We have a lot of things in Rome, especially in Italy in the period of Renaissance, Risorgimento, Reborn. So many things to see, so many things to learn, especially if you like history and food, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very close. Then we say goodbye and try to move faster.
Oh, you can just take your time. So, how is your experience with Locals live experiences so far? Because we heard with Miha that he liked it really much, and he also had to adapt a bit to the time zones and stuff. And how is that for you?
Well, it was great. I start doing a tour that is called The Arts of Roman Poetry. So with just in my house, because in the lockdown era, we couldn't go out. So I, with a video call with a guest, I met people from US. I met people from Netherlands. I met people from all over Europe. And I had a lot of fun because it's very good how people is always interested in to learn something. And what I did is to talk about Rome with the using of my words and with the using of the words as the poets, as I said in the beginning, to teach them something newer and to teach them the history of Rome in a chronological way, in a chronological time. Till the moment of when the Roman Empire falls. And it was very, very good. It was very, very funny. And thanks to you with Locals to give us the chance to do something even in this very, very bad time.
Yeah.
We are now in the Roman Forum. You see behind me all the ruins of the temples. And this was the place of the meeting place for the Romans, was where to sell the slaves, to sell, of course, food, to go praying. That's why we had a lot of columns, because they were temples. And here, during the normal time, you will see people walking inside to see the ruins, and with a big group of people and with tour guides. Now it's waiting for you. They are taking some rest to reopen the gates.
Yeah, it'll be a lot busier, I guess, in usual times rather than these times right now. So,
yeah. This is now, for example, that is May. We have a lot of people. I do 2 tours a day in May and June. Just remember, if you want to come in Rome, if you come in August, it's very hot. So it's very hot, but there is a good thing. Rome is empty because in August, in the normal period, the Romans, they leave the city to go for their vacation for 15 days in the middle of August. In general, in the entire month, Rome is more empty and it's just full of tourists. If you come in May, it's the best month because it's not so hot, it's not so cold. And of course, even in June, and even in July, are considered the hike season till the end of October. We have hike season here in Rome, and it's kind of a crazy moment if you come into the city center to walk around.
Yeah, a lot of heat, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Really.
A lot of everything.
So you.
But we
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No. I'll say that we are waiting for you.
Oh yeah.
So we're waiting for the tourism coming again.
Yeah. I think that's a nice ending of the part with you. So if you want to go to Rome and you want to have this kind of tour with someone who lives in Rome, with Simone, for instance, you can always book an experience from you, I guess, on withlocals.com, and then look for Simone on there, and then he can help you out.
Yeah, Akel, I will give you a lot of tips. I will answer you all the questions you have to me about history, about food, about how to live in Rome, what to do in Rome with kids, with no kids, everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, that's
whatever you like.
That's really, really good to hear. Can I thank you, Simona, for doing this with us, and also for the viewers. I enjoyed it a lot.
So much.
I think the viewers also enjoyed it a lot, and then hopefully we'll be there in Rome in hopefully on the short term.
Yeah, crossing fingers.
Yes, we will. Thanks, Simona.
Thank you so much. Ciao. Ciao, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. Ciao. Bye-bye.
So that was Simona from Rome. It was a really nice walk. He explained a lot of things we could do in Rome, and he showed us the how close everything is together. So it's if you want to go there, you can also look on withlocals.com, look for ideas, look for experiences, and maybe even go with Simone on an experience or on a tour once. I'm quickly going to set up the next part of the live stream, which will be a panel with a few people who work at Withlocals. So I'll be right back in 3 minutes from now. So see you soon.
Hey everybody, it's Otto, live from Amsterdam, where today is my favorite day of the year, King's Day. The one day that 17 million Dutchmen dress up in orange, party like crazy to honor the king. But yeah, since we have to stay inside this year, we thought of some ways to share our so-called orange fever with you. But watch out, it's contagious. Its happiness is contagious. Here are some ways to celebrate King's Day at home, inspired by the locals. So, wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you positive orange vibes. Cheers to you, and I hope we can meet soon and celebrate like the Dutch do in Amsterdam.
Every city has many faces.
Different flavors. So my Barcelona,
It's not my Barcelona.
But we are all locals.
allow to give you my Barcelona.
My Hong Kong. My London. My Ho Chi Minh City.
My Abu Dhabi.
My Paris. Come visit my Barcelona.
So we are back with a panel of Withlocals employees. Here today with you are Goda in the top left, Matthijs in the top right, Mia in the bottom left, and myself in the bottom right. So let's start with Goda. Can you tell us a bit about who you are and what you do at Withlocals?
Sure. So I've been in the company for 5.5 years, and honestly, I think I did almost every role there is in the Withlocals. Currently, I'm working as a product owner, so I'm basically translating the requirements of the employees to the IT, and we are building and improving the features of the website.
Okay, that sounds really good. Let's continue with Matthijs and Mia after that. So go ahead, Matthijs.
Micha, you can go first.
Sure. So hi, I'm Miha, the other Miha from Berlin. I'm also a product owner at Withlocals. I started about 3 years ago in the company. Also did a multitude of roles before getting here, and I'm currently actually working mainly with our hosts and making sure that they have everything they need in working with our awesome partners.
Okay, that's also very interesting. And then, as last, because he was such a gentleman to give it first to Miha, Matthijs.
Thank you, Pim. I appreciate it. So my name is Matthijs. I'm the CEO of Withlocals, and that basically means that you have to do a little bit of everything. And at Withlocals, there's actually always a lot of everything. So it's never a dull moment, I would say.
But it keeps it exciting, I guess, as well, right?
Absolutely. And especially in these times, there's enough to think about.
Yeah, that's sort of good. So, Goda, what do you think of this? I mean, these times, it's sort of exciting times. Yeah, not exciting really in a positive way, maybe, but it's different. And how do you cope with this?
I think that I try to look at it from a positive perspective, and definitely we can define it as more unstable times or like crisis times, but I also think there's a lot of opportunity, and I'm personally quite excited about overall the discussions that are now happening globally, and more attention to the climate change, more attention to maybe transforming the work culture. So from that perspective, I'm very positive. Definitely, maybe on a personal level, it's not the most comfortable time to be. But I guess if you focus on the bright side, you can definitely still be inspired and look more for opportunities rather than focus on the drawbacks.
Yeah. Mia, do you have anything to add to that? I mean, Goda is from a totally different place than you are. How do you handle with this?
I'll say. I was actually just thinking that I think I in this entire situation, I've constantly just been thinking about how lucky I am personally to have a stable place to live, a stable job, to live in a city where you can trust that authorities will do the right things, and that if you need healthcare, you will get it. So I think all of these things kind of make it easier for me to manage all of this, and I'm constantly just a lot of times thinking about the people who don't have the same stability in their lives or living in maybe more difficult conditions, and thinking about what can we do to help that. So I'm constantly, I'm from Romania, I'm constantly kind of keeping an eye on what's happening over there and trying to help out when I can, how I can.
Yeah, no, indeed, and that's also, I think it's very good that you do that, and I think a lot of people also do that, and not only with relatives or friends and family, but it's also like with working, like with your colleagues. I mean, as from what I can see, and everybody probably knows, we are all working remote now. I mean, Matthijs is sitting at his home, Goda is somewhere else, Mia's probably at his home, I'm at my home. But how do you keep connected? I mean, we have a talk now, but how do you keep connected throughout the week, for instance, Goda?
Well, I think that for when it comes to working life, so I'm based in Istanbul. Our company is based in the Netherlands, for those who don't know. So I've been working remotely already for a year and a half, which for me, paradoxically maybe, but this corona situation actually improved my working situation because people became more accessible. There is quite a lot of new technology that we started using in the locals, which I think really improved the daily life. So then that comes to colleagues, and when it comes to personal network, I still believe that connecting with people offline is very important, and whatever that means, if it's a phone call, if you cannot have a walk or something. But I do feel that also meeting people outside the online space is simply refreshing, and it gives a lot of energy. And as much as we can do it with the regulations that are in the place where we live, I think this is definitely what we should do to energize our.
Yeah, and I think also a lot of people, like as you said, it's good to keep in touch with people offline, also keep them in touch with them online. I think there's also a lot of people that come up with new ways of keeping in touch with people. I mean, we could also call someone, but now we're hosting like virtual games kind of stuff or other virtual things. Have you had any experience with that, Miha, for instance?
Yeah, I've actually I was just thinking while Goda was talking about that I think a lot of people got a lot more creative in this time with how they keep in touch, and I heard a lot of people actually saying that they're in touch with more friends than they were before because everybody suddenly has more time on their hands. So yeah, for example, I did of course, with a few of my friends doing the Friday evening cocktails remote, everybody in their kitchen and just having a drink and a laugh together. I also tried actually a tiramisu cooking class with two of my friends, which was, of course, very delicious the next day. But it was also really fun to do. And actually, I also did a painting class online with my niece who lives in Romania. She's very small, and I missed her a lot. So that was really nice. A really nice way to get in touch with her.
Yeah. And you, Matthijs, also, do you have anything with these experiences, or how is it like working from home with kids, for instance?
Yeah, that's great, I would say. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that you have to take care of, but it's nice if you can do it together. And I think what's really important is to see, can you come up with some kind of structure? Because when you're working at home, and I think that's also something I discussed with a lot of colleagues, it's also very tempting to start early in the morning and to go through to, let's say, late in the evening. I guess that's something that I also had to learn, like how do you set the right balance there? And sometimes it's also in really simple things, like we do a lot of one-on-one discussions with colleagues. You can do that in a video call, just like this, which is nice. You can also go out, just do a walk. Your colleague can also do a walk somewhere else. You do a phone call, for instance. So I guess there's lots of ways how you can interact. Yeah, exactly like what we are doing now.
Yeah, and I think that's also a really good thing. I mean, we are doing this now, and I'm also a bit curious, like if one of the viewers like has an insight on how they work from home or how they do stuff. I mean, I'm also curious about that, how other people do it, and you can be more connected via this way, it seems as well. Sometimes I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's also a good way to explore some new ideas, right? So we talked a little bit about this session, like hobbies. What do you like? So I like cycling, and I brought some stuff like, I'm not sure if you can see it. So this is part of a bike frame, but there's a long story behind this little piece. I broke it. And that's something that will not happen if you just do a virtual ride from the comfort of your home. And what happens if you do that, you suddenly make a lot of new friends. So in this case, you're on a trainer, you meet people all over the world. So you get new friends from Japan, from the US, and you all share the same passion. And I think that's something where online can really help. And at the same time, it's also good to do something else instead of working, what we just discussed.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's also talking about the things you really like doing and what you're going to do. Like your passion is in cycling, for instance. But what's your passion, Miha? Like what keeps you going apart from work these days?
Yeah, for me, it's also sports. I'm also actually really happy to live in a place where we've been allowed throughout this period to go outside to exercise. So I've been running, also cycling, and doing yoga at home. Also, really helps to keep the endorphins going, so that you don't get too lethargic just sitting at home all the time.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine it to get a bit out of the working flow then as well. And you, Goda?
Well, for me, I'm actually very lucky. I live in an apartment terrace, have a little garden there, so it's nice to also put myself in that space. Talking about other stuff, I also do yoga, and I think that in this time, it's also a really good time to try again in a digital environment. So like, workshops or simply explore what's available. And I think that a lot of people can connect fashion sense with what I said. I think it's nice.
Yeah,
that's actually very true. When I was living in Eindhoven, I had a yoga studio that I really loved, and I was going to there regularly. And I really missed it since moving to Berlin. I couldn't find something that I loved as much as that one. And now they actually started doing online classes, so I can attend it, and I'm so grateful for it.
so you're saved in a bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yes, I can finally do my yoga online.
And I guess, I'm not sure how that is for you, Goda and Micha, but this is also a good time to explore your own city a little bit more, right? And I guess it's hard for me to compete with either Istanbul or Berlin. I live in a small village in the Netherlands. But I do live in a village where Vincent van Gogh, the famous painter, he used to live there. I have to admit, only for 3 years. But he painted about 25% of all his paintings in there. Usually you see a lot of tourists here and you don't really pay attention. And then suddenly you go to all these places that they visit, which is really it's a 2-minute walk from here. And I guess a lot of you know the painter, famous from the sunflowers. So luckily I found out that that painting is stored in a really secure location, but there's also a version he left in my little village. He was a very poor man, so as you can see, there is no frame. I'll keep it here for you, but I guess there's a story in every city. So how is that for you, Goda?
I honestly also super enjoy the Istanbul being more empty and more fresh. So actually, I live in the central area, and about it that most of the time it's really packed with tourists, and now obviously it's not. So you can buildings, you can see the architecture, you can really enjoy vibe differently, I would say. So yeah, definitely I like to explore that. For me, I guess the city did become smaller because before I would, go to different districts and travel with a ferry and do all these kind of things. Now I simply don't, so it's only walking distance. Yes, but definitely there are a lot of nice places, churches and historical monuments that you simply...
Talking about nice places, by the way, Goda, we have a question from the chat. Someone asks where you are. And he also says that it looks like you're in a nice garden. If you can maybe show us that garden.
Yes, so I am actually in the Maçka Park. It's a central park in Istanbul. This is how it looks like. You can go down and it's actually quite long. It's one of the main city parks. Also, it's in the western part of the city, or like westernized, so there's a lot of like joggers, yoga people. It's a nice spot. So yeah, I'm lucky to be here now.
I think that also answers the question from Ron. Talking about viewers, by the way, do you have any advice on what you could give to the viewers, like to keep sane and to like do their thing? Anything they can, any advice from you, for instance, Mia?
I think focusing on the things that you can do rather than the things that you can't do really helps. So rather than thinking, I can't go out to a restaurant, you can think, I can cook something amazing at home and I can learn to make sourdough bread. Like I have,
What about your yoga session, Micha?
Oh, right. Yeah, actually, that's something that's really nice to help bring people together. I think we're doing this one morning with our colleagues at Withlocals. We got together one morning before starting to work, and we did a yoga session together. And I think, for a lot of people, it's more motivating to do something with others than to just do it alone. So that's something that I can really recommend to try, because I've tried it since also with other friends, just like a one-on-one, meeting up in the morning, doing a yoga session together, and then just talking over coffee or tea. And that really helps start off on the right foot. And not go straight from bed to office, because that's...
Yeah. I see that you have an additional guest, Pim.
Yes.
So I'll be talking in the meantime. And I guess to your question, Pim, also this initiative for me is a way to handle the situation, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that we cannot control. Nobody of us, including the viewers, likes the situation. But I think it's also great if you can come up with ways to do something new. And also our hosts are in a really difficult situation. But I think a lot of the viewers have seen some of our hosts today. And they've also seen that they've successfully switched to online experiences. So we're still connecting people. It's different. Travel is not possible these days. And I think that's super important. Can you find something that really gives you energy? Because, it's easy to lose yourself in all the news that's going on. And it makes sense, right? There is a lot of bad news. But I think if you can also focus on something that brings you energy, that is more positive, that it goes a really long way to cope with this situation.
Yeah, indeed, I agree fully with that. I mean, there's a lot of new initiatives also coming up. Like, for instance, with Locals for us, me as in software engineering, and then we have product. We all came up with some new ideas. With Locals Live, for instance, I mean, people couldn't go on tours anymore. So what do? We try to give them the ability to do a tour from their home, and also for the guests to do a tour from their home. And I think that's also really nice how we, gradually came up with this and adapted a bit to, make that possible for our guests. Because how was that process for you, for instance, and one of the product ladies in this chat?
For me personally, that's why I also feel quite energized from this situation, because I think for any company, but also for us, it's an opportunity to reinvent, to a little bit think out of the box. And there are a lot of new ideas, new initiatives that we are experimenting. So from the personal and professional side, I think it's really a good chance to grow for a business, but also individually. So it's definitely not easy. So I don't want to only sugarcoat it. It can be also quite stressful, but at the same time, I think it really is rewarding. So in that way, I think it's positive.
I think what's motivating is seeing that everyone is so flexible and so willing to try new things. Like, especially, I think for our hosts, this is something really amazing that we have these people who are so proactive and who are so willing to just try it. And they were so open from the first moment, like, sure, we can try it. We'll see how it works. Nobody knew what it will look like, or if it will work, or if anybody will care. But people were open to it, and I think that's something that's really motivating for this period.
Yeah.
Hey, and Pim, I know that you are the one who's asking all the questions here, but this looks like you're going into a new career as a live stream presenter. How's this for you?
Yeah, this is actually really nice for me. I mean, a quick hint. We've been doing some virtual bars within Withlocals for colleagues. and then it's a bit like less formal and less professional like this. But this is like really nice to also meet other people, like show them their cities, like give them a platform to like talk about what they want, and that's really nice. In the beginning I was a bit nervous, like, oh, what am I going to do? But in the end it's like so fluent, like people really want to talk about their city, want to talk about their lives, and yeah, that's really nice to see for me as well as the host of this live stream, for instance.
Cool, great to hear.
Yeah. So with all these, free time, we have a lot of work to do still. But like Mia has said in the beginning of this live stream, he gave us a good suggestion on the Netflix TV show. Like, is there anything that you would like give a suggestion? Like, which TV shows are you watching, or did you run out of them? Looking for suggestions? Fire away.
I recently finished one. I finished Afterlife, which is a Ricky Gervais TV show. He's a stand-up comedian known for quite offensive humor, but he's also he has a soft side, and this series is really a good combination of both. So yeah, I can recommend it. I found it very friendly for a couple to watch together because it has something for everyone. Yeah.
It's also a recent TV show, right?
I think the second series, the second season had just come out, and they will renew it for a third season. So I'm looking forward to that.
Then they're doing something good, so that's nice. So that's a good suggestion from you, Mia. You go there.
For me, maybe I will recommend a book. So I'm currently reading A Hidden Life of. It's a bestseller, and I know it's quite popular for years. I got my hands on it now. But what I really like about
Can we
is that
quickly interrupt, Gora? Quickly? You
sure.
just broke up when the hidden life of
trees. The
trees.
Hidden Life of Trees.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So it says, well, first of all, it's something you can do offline, and for I find it a bit refreshing also, and the trees form a community, which maybe you think about.
Oh,
I think
you're
it's
dropping.
breaking out.
Yeah, it's
And now?
dropping out a bit. Now it works. Yeah.
Okay, so I will just quickly finish. So I think it's a nice topic because, well, first it relates to nature, and I think we are all a bit want to connect with that now, and it gives you a completely different topic to think about than you like spend your. I think it's.
There's some guesswork in this response, but we can
Damn.
add context later on.
So the hidden life of trees, that's your major suggestion for people at home right now looking for something to do in their free time. And you, Matthijs, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Well, I'm not watching a lot these days, but when I was doing a little bit of research for streaming in general, I was not too familiar with a platform like Twitch that we are also using right now to stream to. And then you find out all these things that you've never heard of before. So this was actually a tip from a colleague. There's a couple of guys, they're driving around. I think it's in somewhere in Africa, maybe Kenya or South Africa, in a Jeep. And they go into a game reserve and they have a couple of cameras. There's one person who will take care of the camera work, and the other person knows a lot about wildlife. So I was watching this like 2 days ago, and they're like, okay, we have to stop here. There's a leopard, and there's really a leopard there. And maybe it's all scripted. I don't know. It didn't look like that. But it's pretty cool because to me, it feels similar. You're just joining a couple of guys. Normally, you would have to go to Africa, go onto a safari, stay there. It's not cheap. And this is a really nice way it's a different type of experience, of course. So yeah, watching leopards these days.
It sounds like a live Animal Planet.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I also got a suggestion from a colleague. I had to watch Tiger King, so I'm still up for that. But yeah, that's apparently also a good suggestion in his eyes. Let's see, we have one question in the chat, not really related to work, but it's Matt asking, hey, a lot of countries in Europe require a 14 days mandatory quarantine at your home or in a hotel when crossing borders. What would be your idea to spend the best mandatory 14 days in quarantine?
Yeah, it's already a bad starting point, this question, but let's just assume that we have to do it. Wow. Well, just sitting on the couch would be a nightmare. So I really like to do stuff. So I mean that there's always this long list of stuff you have to do. I would just start working on that. Probably also getting back on that trainer a couple of times. What else? I don't know. It feels like a countdown to 14 days, and then hoping that you can go outside again.
Yeah, I would just say don't go, but yeah, that's sometimes also not possible. But
I know. Yeah, maybe Goda or Micha have better ideas.
I think if you're at home, it's really the best case scenario. I think in a hotel, it would really be a nightmare because what you have a TV and the Bible, and that's it. You don't really have to read the Bible. If you're 14 days should be enough. But if you're at home, 14 days is enough time to perfect your sourdough starter. It's
good suggestion.
Yeah.
I would say plan this trip with like a bestie, and then be locked down together and have some like cocktail parties and like brunches. At least that.
Yeah, that's also good. Like at least if you're not alone, I mean that would also make a big difference, I think. Let's see. I think we have one last question. That's for you, Goda. Someone in the chat asks if you are Turkish because you are in Istanbul.
No, I am originally from Lithuania, and I moved to Istanbul a year and a half ago. I don't know, just because I wanted to be in a more vibrant environment and more dynamic city, I guess. I love it here. Awesome choice.
Okay, that's then I think we have all the questions from the chat answered so far. And then I think we can wrap this up and go on to the next part in a few minutes. May I thank you all for joining the panel. Gave us a lot of insights on how we actually work at Withlocals and how we cope with the lockdown situations. So thanks for that. And
thank you, Pim.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Great to be here and talk soon.
Nice.
And then again, we will be back in a few. Bye-bye. We will be back in a few more minutes, and then we will start with Sebastian in Amsterdam. So see you soon again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Otto, live from Amsterdam, where today is my favorite day of the year, King's Day. The one day that 17 million Dutchmen dress up in orange, party like crazy to honor the king. But yeah, since we all have to stay inside this year, we thought of some ways to share our so-called orange fever with you. But watch out, it's contagious. Its happiness is contagious. Here are some ways to celebrate King's Day at home, inspired by the locals. So, wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you positive orange vibes. Cheers to you, and I hope we can meet soon and celebrate like the Dutch do in Amsterdam.
Every city has many faces.
Different flavors. So my Barcelona
It's not my Barcelona.
But we are all locals.
allowed to give you my Barcelona.
My Hong Kong. My London. My Ho Chi Minh City.
My Abu Dhabi.
My Paris.
Come visit my Barcelona.
We'd like to make
Our city.
Your city.
Hey everybody, it's Otto, live from Amsterdam, where today is my favorite day of the year, King's Day. The one day that 17 million Dutchmen dress up in orange, party like crazy to honor the king. But yeah, since we have to stay inside this year, we thought of some ways to share our so-called orange fever with you. But watch out, it's contagious. Its happiness is contagious. Here are some ways to celebrate King's Day at home, inspired by the locals. So, wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you positive orange vibes. Cheers to you, and I hope we can meet soon and celebrate like the Dutch do in Amsterdam.
Every city has many faces.
Different flavors. So my Barcelona.
It's not my Barcelona.
But we are all locals.
Allow to give you my Barcelona.
My Hong Kong. My London. My Ho Chi Minh City.
My Abu Dhabi.
My Paris.
Come visit my Barcelona.
So welcome back to the live stream. We are waiting with Sebastian, who is already sitting there for us. So Sebastian, how is life in Amsterdam?
Party time!
Party time!
Party time! I can tell you, I had a bike tour, a digital bike tour, with my mobile phone and everything, and it was fantastic going outside with a reason. Because you can understand here in the Netherlands, everybody who has a job and like me too, but has to go to an office is allowed, for the last 2 months, was allowed to go to the office by car or by bicycle. And 1 month ago, it was a bit low. And now with all the digital tours coming up, I have a lot of digital tours from home, but now also a lot of bookings for the bicycle tour. And yeah, I'm Dutch, and to give you an idea, and it doesn't only hold for Amsterdam, but in general, if my grandparents, for example, the moment they mentally broke when they got older and older was actually the point when they couldn't drive a bicycle anymore.
Oh.
So you can imagine, it's when you grow up here in the Netherlands, and you're Dutch too yourself, you probably remember, you crawl, you get a bicycle between your legs, a balance bike. Then so meaning cycling and walking is kind of, for me, it was the same phase in my life. I learned cycling and walking in the same go. And then it was of course swimming, because there's so much water. I would love to go swimming, but I kept away from the North Sea, also because of COVID. But slowly we're going to open a bit more. Ice skating was number 4. So it's crawling, cycling, walking,
Nice outfit,
swimming,
Sebastian.
and ice skating in that order, I would say. But the ice skating, the canals don't freeze over anymore.
No.
So please, if you go to Amsterdam and go into Rijksmuseum and you see those old paintings, think of me.
Amazing
If you see
outfit.
people ice skating there, that used to be also in my youth. I used to skate on the canals, and that what global warming took away. But every disadvantage has its advantage. So in our case in Amsterdam is the autumn and spring have become beautiful times of the year. Seasons changed. And now, it's super warm. I have sunlight all day long. And guys, I love to show this in general, but it's just, this is an invention which came pretty late, 2005. So you could say especially in Amsterdam, we start roaming the 7 seas around 1600. That's why you see these kind of things still everywhere, but we're very proud of that. We still call it the Golden Ages, but not for long. But to give you an idea how much rain and how much wind we usually had, or especially during this time of the year, my storm umbrella. So, yeah, guys, I know you in the south where you're living, it's less, but here, wind can be like bizarre. And this is 100 kilometers an hour windproof. And has nowadays also, they're built in, I cannot believe it, but it helps me very much in the summer times. They're built in a UV filter, really important. And not to forget, if I give this, on tours when it's raining to kids, I love this invention. Oh, wait, actually, this one. See, rounded off caps. So they cannot poke me into the legs. Yeah. Which is also very important. People always, when they see this one, they think like, it's just, the design, it's just weird. Yeah, but no, this is like a wing. So I can also use it on a bicycle because it will not pull me back. It will float while I'm driving on my bicycle.
Wow, yeah.
And that's why I love. That's why I want to love. Because it's a wing shape. It will do this. And now you say, what a great invention. And now I say, like for hundreds and hundreds of years, we have wind and rain, or had wind and rain all the time. So this umbrella, it came very late, 2005.
Yeah, because
very late.
At first I thought...
Great outfit,
quickly,
an umbrella,
quickly
umbrella,
asking-
Ella.
At first I thought like 2005, an umbrella. what's so different about it, but now you're explaining it. It's a storm umbrella which has special features, so it's not just an umbrella. So yeah.
No, and it's the only it's really on the it's genius on especially on a bicycle, because on a bicycle the only thing stopping me from cycling is when it rains, when it pours, when it pours like crazy. But with this one, I can still move, and it doesn't help when the storms are so bizarre that the roof tiles come down. So you can imagine. I once did that, so I came home and my girlfriend was like, "Why you're home? We have code yellow." I'm like, "Hey, I have a storm umbrella." She was not very happy about that because she said, "Yeah, roof tiles, it doesn't, reflect that." But yeah, normally I used to have 3 trench coats, to give you an idea. Three trench coats. Yeah, because it was so windy and rainy. And now I only have 1 trench coat because the umbrella solves a lot of problems for me in general.
Yeah. Yeah, that's and at least nice that it's like not just a tool for you, but it's like a working tool actually for you.
Yes, and that's that. Now we come back to the seasons. So autumn or spring, and autumn would be the seasons, especially autumn, where it would be kind of cold and rainy and windy. And you can understand cold wind.
Make it rain.
And if you're wet, people lose focus. I grew up here, so I'm great actually with I'm great in bad weather, with other cultures called bad weather. But I have huge problems in the summertime now because look at me, I'm white as milk. I'm probably, we white people are probably, we still don't really know. There's a lot of research about it, but the ice ages, snow, normally white animals are in region where it's really cold, and they have small ears and all that kind of stuff because of, and I sometimes think I'm the same because I see at night very well. I don't have a lot of pigment in my eyes, as you can see. So I see at night very well. I see in the dark very well. But during now, I always need sunglasses and a hat. Not this orange one, because if I use this orange one, you understand this, and the people at home have to understand that. I accidentally 2 days ago, after a tour, online tour, I went outside and everybody was staring at me, and I'm like, why is everybody staring at me? So guys, for us, orange and especially orange clothing, it's a royal thing. Yeah, and we dress orange on certain occasions when we play football, or the rest of United States call it soccer, as one of the few. And and on King's Day, the 27th of April, we have King's Day. That's the birthday of our king, and our king is called William of Orange Nassau. So that's why I dress like an orange monkey all the time, and that's the reason why the carrot is orange.
Yes. So orange is like a really good color within your life, so it seems. I can also say that the viewers think the same, because we had some donations with the messages of nice outfit, Sebastian, amazing outfit, great outfit, and umbrella, and then with the song Umbrella Ella Ella Ella, like Rihanna sang. So also people talking about the weather, like Make It Rain, a donation from Rainmaker, from R Green. So it's people feel your story, Sebastian.
That's very interesting in a sense. When we talk, just think about this, yeah. So now we don't have enough rain, but for the last hundreds of years, we are such great water managers. And our king too. Our king studied water management. Surprise! 6,000 years ago. I know it's not a nice map, but here you see all the. This is all blue. This used to be the North Sea, and 6,000 years ago, where my hand is, kind of, this was all underneath water. Can you imagine? Actually, a bit more. This. So we always had trouble with too much water. Too much seawater. Or too much rain. It was raining a bit every day, that kind of stuff. And so make it rain. Yes, I'm wishing for a lot of rain, and a lot of people don't know that. And still, every time I tell it, it's pretty miraculous, because if you look at the globe, if I show my globe I have here, and you will not see the Netherlands because we're so small. Huh? Nevertheless, we're the second biggest exporter of fruits and vegetables after United States.
For such a
And
small
that's because of
country.
all that know-how. Yeah. Plus, not only pushing water away. So this island, for example, and this is pretty recently in our history, this island is made from 1919, circa 1919 on, and it's a dedicated land for agriculture. Yeah. So we pushed water away, and we pushed salt water away. Who knows? Maybe we have to get it back. Um, yeah, very exciting times. But every disadvantage has its advantage. So the summers get pretty hot for me, but again, for most of the people around the globe, that's no problem. That's just me, a little milky boy, you know. Like I told you, I'm good when it's cold, when it's rainy. That's what, yeah, probably what I was made for. I can tell you, my brothers, you know, they can, if they go into the sun, they get a darker skin color, but I don't, which is also no problem. I'm also lactose tolerant, which is great. Not everybody's lactose tolerant, and that's also probably related with my genetical pool coming from around here.
Yes, quickly one
When people-
one question from the chat. Someone mentioned they saw your umbrella and they saw Tommy Hilfiger on it, and they saw Bram asked if you were sponsored by Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that one. I usually this one I got not sponsored by Tommy Hilfiger, not yet. They're also not so much into orange as I am. But the funny thing is, actually, I'm not sponsored by them, but they are inspired by us, the Dutch. And now you say, like, why? Now look at this. This color coding is, of course, Tommy Hilfiger color coding is related to the United States flag. And I always, you know, I don't know everything, definitely not. And I will always be honest if I don't know it. But I kind of, you know, we're driving on the right side of the road because of the French. So I kind of thought, like, you know, the French flag is related to our flag, but not the way I thought it would be. Our flag, the Dutch flag, inspired the French flag and the United States flag. And to give you an idea how our flag looks, rood, wit, blauw, this is our flag. So you can say that because we have this flag, United States were inspired by us, and Tommy Hilfiger is using that United States American color theme all the time. It's bizarre. I never thought about that, but I just realized that, yeah, you could say we should call them. We have a copyright thing here going on.
Yes, we are Dutch, so we also incorporate the Tommy Hilfiger brand logo.
I also have a yellow one, but yeah, it's so yellow. I look a bit like a Tweety then if I have this.
Orange, yellow. It's summery colors though, so maybe within a month we can see you cycling around Amsterdam with your umbrella, the yellow one.
Definitely, yeah, definitely with the other one. I'm looking for, if anybody can help me with that. Yeah, I need a holder for my bicycle so that I can put that umbrella in, and then you understand I'm done. I can just, you know, drive. I have with the whole. I saw those once in a while. I'll see those, but I need a good one. You know, just a mount that I mount to my steer, and there this umbrella comes in, and that's better than every car. I can tell you. In Amsterdam, especially, there is nothing I cannot do faster with my bicycle in the canal region. Yeah, and we just give you a really quick idea, because the canal region, guys, was made for small boats, and a lot of big streets we nowadays have used to be canals. Let's see if the toggling works. Yes, the toggling works. It's not a great map, but it's precise enough. See, everything is round. The canals are round because we had a fort wall here, and we used to have a fort wall here. This is the old Amsterdam. And if I, for example, here, the Vijzelstraat, it's a relatively big street we have here, but it used to be a canal. That holds for a lot of big streets, also on the back on a Dam Square and that kind of stuff. So we were made for small boats. We tried cars as a as a personal mode of transportation in the 60s, but it didn't work out. Even if you go to our most important and nicest market in Amsterdam, the Albert Kuip, in the 60s, the people went on the streets protesting. Protesting to make the Albert Kuipstraat, where the market is, the big outdoor market, to make it car free. And this is going on. Look, so the three crosses are the three crosses of Amsterdam, and this means dag auto, goodbye car. So we are banning more cars. How? By replacing car parks for cars with places where you can put your bicycles. Mm-hmm. We get more and more dedicated bicycle parking spots and less dedicated car parking spots.
Okay, so a message to the viewers. If you want to donate, then you know what to donate for Sebastian. It's a holder for his umbrella on the bike. So if you want to give him that, feel free. We have another question from Reinoud. Do you like football because you're in the Netherlands, dressed up as orange?
Guys, this is a very good question, and more. So I love history, and I love football, and it goes together very, very well. To give you an idea, it's also this is a tacky thing we're gonna touch on. Not tacky. It's a bit complicated thing. Soccer, or the way we call it football, is sometimes. It also touches that religious part in your brain. Yeah, so I have to be very careful what I'm saying now. But this book, this is Johan Cruyff, the biggest football player we ever had, and this is Franz Beckenbauer, one of the biggest football players the Germans ever had. So there is a book about those two. So why is there a book? They were two of the best players of their time, but it's also has a historic background. So we'll jump to what happened, to give you an idea, what happened in 1988. So this is competition 1974. But 1988, we, the Dutch, finally win European Championships. That's the only tournament we won up till now, although we are the innovators of football. And to give you an idea how much hate there still was between Germany and the Netherlands. And this dates, of course, back, you already hear it, to the Second World War. So one of the players, I cannot get this up. I am. So we, the Dutch, are playing the European Championships in Germany. Semi-final is against Germany. We win it. And it's a tradition to afterwards exchange your jerseys. Yeah, you probably know that, Pim. You saw that exchange of jerseys. Yeah. And now I'm going to show you. This is I'm a bit ashamed of this, but because I think he shouldn't have done it. But nowadays, the bondscoach of the Netherlands, meaning the national coach of our national team now, did 1988 after they won the semi-final against Germany the following. Pim, I don't know if you still remember that.
1988. That's a bit before before I was born.
A bit for your time. So now I'm going to show you. So I'm the Dutch player. I have the German jersey, and you know what he did? This is not kidding. So we won it, and he did the following. Into the camera. Can you imagine? Into the camera. So it was in West Germany against Germany. We just won, and he took Olaf Toon's jersey and did that one. So then you can understand, especially with football, it's very interesting topic. A lot of to be honest, my female colleagues say, how can you talk about football? And then I always say, how can you talk about the Roman Empire without talking about the gladiators? And with the Dutch, it's also a bit the same. So now we go back to the biggest player we had. So these two guys, are children he is a child of the generation that occupied the Netherlands, and he is a child of the generation that was occupied by Nazi Germany. So you can imagine 1945, Second World War is over, and 1974, we meet the Germans in the final. In Germany again, by the way, which, we lost. But this is very, and now we come
Can I get my
to
shirt back?
me saying this is almost religious. Guys, so Franz Beckenbauer, is called the Caesar, the emperor, and he is called the savior. That's his nickname. It's like, what you also say about JC Christ, Jesus Christ, superstar, So it's a very interesting thing, and I just it's our number one sport. And also, when this generation, Johan Cruyff and the others, I cannot talk about this with my mom. She's 62 plus, and there comes also in. So we, after the Second World War, before the Second World War, let's say that way, we are the Kingdom of the Netherlands. We're a global brand. We are big. We are orange. We are Dutch. So the Second World War ends. We still do some stupid stuff in our colonies, but we lose Indonesia. 1975, we lose Suriname, which is on the American continent. We still, have contact with the 6 Antilles Islands. But you can imagine, before the Second World War, we were like this. But then the Japanese and the Germans come, and we lose, and the colonies free themselves from us. So we get smaller and smaller. So this world global brand is suddenly, a bit. And what happens? So there are two things that happen, which make us, not a lot of things that make us very known again, but Freddie Heineken comes, and he makes the Heineken brand huge. He's the guy who makes Heineken explode. And now you can imagine, as a people that roam the 7 seas, now we go on vacation and we see the Heineken star, and we feel like, oh, we're back. We're big again. And the same holds also for that football story. If you talk with my mom, who really has no feeling for football, she doesn't care about it at all, never watches it. But you cannot say anything bad about Johan Cruyff because, what I'm telling you here, it's also a bit of a self-esteem problem of the Netherlands after the Second World War. Yeah, because she said Freddie Heineken and Johan Cruyff put us on the map again, and that means we felt big. The whole world was talking again about us, which we had very rough years after the Second World War. We did some stupid things, and also some stupid things were done to us. But it's very interesting. So be careful. Don't ever say anything bad when you're in Amsterdam about Johan Cruyff. There is now a Johan Cruyff Stadium. There will be different places are called after him. He went to Barcelona and took the new way of playing Dutch football to Barcelona. They play it there. And a lot of people in Amsterdam,
Great
no
stuff,
kidding,
Sebastian.
were in Barcelona also because of that. I mean, if you hear about it all the time, you probably might think you wake up and think like, oh, let's go to Spain. Where shall I go? Barcelona. Pim, have you been already?
Barcelona.
Have you been? Yes.
No, I have not been to Barcelona yet. So that's up next, I guess.
What about?
Let's quickly go over.
Let's
quickly go over donations because your story about football and the history of it, and Cruyff and Beckenbauer has got some people wild on the donations. So we have Bartos coming in with a €1 donation. We also have Beckenbauer back from the. He wants his shirt back, so he also gave us a donation. And Miha from Berlin, and the host we previously had on the live stream, also gave a donation of €10, who mentioned great stuff, Sebastian.
Yeah, Miha, I also definitely want to do his tour. I'm very, I like Berlin very much. I love it actually, but I would never want to live there. I'm a tulip, I'm an orange tulip. I only grow here. That's what I realized when I lived in Hamburg. And it's so interesting. In general, so of course, we have Great Britain, they are in a total different moment in time than we are now. Because when I show you this, when I show you this and talk about the things we used to do, trade, spices, pepper used to be a word for a lot of spices. And all that, so that's cool. Cocoa, yeah, not everybody knows, but we also make great chocolate. But we are in a moment of time that we say, slavery and slave trade were not cool. So that's why we have this discussion at the moment about what happened after the Second World War, 1945 till 1949, with Indonesia.
For
Because
Sebastian, the Dutch
we didn't let them
entertainer.
go. Yeah, although they wanted to leave us. Walk of shame here. And way before it was the slave trade and that kind of stuff. And it's really interesting. So if you look at the British, again, a bicycle adventure booking, just while we're talking. Now, what's interesting is here that we are so close to Great Britain. I mean, there are people who swam from from here, to Great Britain. It's possible if you're really fit, and the weather is good. It's possible, but please don't do it.
Not advisable.
And the same Germany is also very close, but we're so different. So Brexit, you probably I should zip it about that, but it's not. They look back on their history and they're not saying like maybe the opium wars were not such a good idea or trading opium. That's how it feels my side here, and and they have that Great Britain empire thing. We are at the moment saying okay, slave trade was not so cool. Maybe we shouldn't call it golden ages anymore, 16 to 17, 17 to 18. So we can learn a lot from Germany, because Germany, after the Second World War, it became very clear what they did, and they said sorry, and they still talk about it a lot. And we are a bit late, but we're also in that phase, because after 5 years of occupation of Nazi Germany, and there's a reason why everybody hates Nazi Germany so much, and that was a very dark period of time. But after those 5 years, 1945, the Germans are gone, and the next 4 years, again for 5 years, we tried to retain Indonesia. The way I grew up with it was, we called those police actions, military actions, but I let you be the judge of that. If in a war, or I call it a war, 150,000 Indonesians die, I think that's a bit more than military action, or a bit more than police actions,
Yeah.
So I'm not proud, but I'm happy, that we talk about that, because it's always so important in your life. If you look into the mirror, if you know where you are, you find your way to where you want to go. And that's what so, when you look at Great Britain, they don't know really where they are and what's happening so much, I think. And Germany, it's so interesting because Protestantism, maybe here in the north, I said that for a reason, where I have this hypothesis, and I think a lot of people in Netherlands would agree, so that we have pride, and same-sex marriage since 2001, or even more ridiculously cool, the first organization to allow same-sex marriage in the Netherlands is 1994. 1994, a Protestant church. I couldn't believe it. Can you imagine how modern it is that a church makes that step? And then you look at Germany, where the whole Protestantism started as a protest against the Catholic Church. And in our case, we also wanted to protest against Spanish rule. So it starts there, but they are more Catholic. And you also see that now, funnily, I don't know if it's so funny, but you see it they have a lot of intensive care beds. Many, many, many more than us. And one of the reasons is also that although Protestantism started there, they are more Catholic. And wait a sec. They are more Catholic. And that also means that people there, and I have family there, so we have legalized euthanasia, as you know, Pim. That's also related to our religion. and they have many, many more IC beds because they are Catholic. And even when people, from my Dutch point of view, yeah, should have the mercy to die, they keep them alive. You know, and it's so bizarre if you see all that, you know, that everything has an advantage and a disadvantage, and how things are playing out that way. By the way, high five to my German friends because they harbored, I think, 50 people who had COVID in Germany. We are very close anyway. It's not only our monarchy, because a lot of people don't know, but the mom of call it the mom of our king now. She. You're still there? I don't hear you,
Yeah,
Kim.
no, we are still there.
Okay,
We're
okay.
just listening, so it's a really
Okay,
cool and
yeah.
interesting story. So
Yeah, it's really, the link is there very, very much. So the mom of our king now is Beatrix. And Beatrix, wow, she's my little hero here because she wed Prince Klaus. And Klaus was a German. And now again, when they had the wedding, you can imagine, not only because of that, but also because she married a German, there was a little uproar here in the Netherlands. You know, people didn't want her to marry a German. And she said, Klaus or nothing. Whereas if you look at her ancestry, it's also full of Germans. And we had a chancellor. And you see that, especially with trade too, because I love the Germans. They're great engineers. They invented the bicycle, or the dominant design of the bicycle I'm using now. They invented the car, both in Mannheim. Hmm? But I think we are better in trade and logistics because we go to the sea for such a long time already. That also means that when the Chancellor of Germany, not now Merkel, but before, was at my university, Chancellor, what is his name? The Social Democrat, Schröder, Chancellor Schröder, the Social Democrat, was at my university. He gave a speech, and then he said the following, and that's true if you look at logistics, if you look at warehousing, and most of 60% of the stuff that is warehoused at our border is for the German market. So he said, I shouldn't say it out loud, but the harbor to Germany is not Hamburg. The number one harbor to Germany is Rotterdam. And that holds up to this day.
yeah.
Nevertheless, we are still growing, and sadly, they don't give us land, so we have to build land again, which is not sad. So, guys, this map is actually old. It's from 2001. Here at the look at it on Google Maps. It's interesting. We're building an island again. Why? Because here's the harbor of Rotterdam, and we have to increase this. That's why we built an island right here into the water. And we're building windmills also. Why? Because the global warming topic we talked. So we're going to put a lot of, not the beautiful brown ones, but here, we will put windmill parks. And of course, we will put them in spaces where they don't mingle with the trade routes, the sailing routes, the shipping routes to Rotterdam.
Yeah, that sounds really nice, and it's like really like I've been just listening to this entire story, and it's how much you know and how much of it is like it's amazing how you can know so much about this, Sebastian. So thank you for that. I think also our viewers really liked it because once again we have a few donations coming in. Someone popped in with still on your football story. So Van Basten himself donated €5 with the message 1988, the best year ever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can. I was a little. I mean, 1988. I was 6 years old, and I can tell you, I don't remember about the final anymore. It was against the Soviet Union. Yeah. But the semi-final at Germany, my whole family, you know, we were all making bets. Will we win against West Germany? Back then, still West Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And how high will we win? Of course, I tipped 5-0. And my favorite player, everybody's about, a lot of people love Van Basten because of the nice goals. But I'm a big fan of La Tulipa Negra. That was his nickname in Italy. And La Tulipa Negra, the black tulip, Ruud Gullit. Look up Ruud Gullit. And he had a rasta back then, you know, all going like this. man, and he was a beast. He
Yeah.
had everything.
Yeah, that's Ruud van Gullit is also one of the most one of the famous Dutch soccers. We also have another donation from Bas V with the message for Sebastian, the Dutch entertainer. And we also have a donator called Mobile, who also donated for your story, Sebastian. May I thank you for the story, and that it was a really interesting story. I mean, a lot of people probably didn't know a lot of things you already mentioned, like the canals, for instance. I didn't even know that we made canals streets in Amsterdam, like you told. So that's really nice, even for me, someone who lives in the Netherlands. So thank you for that. And
the last thing, we stop with the motto of Amsterdam, because we're in Corona crisis. I have to say, please be heroic, determined, and good-hearted people.
Yes, we will. Thank you very much, Sebastian.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
See you soon. Bye, guys.
Well, thank you. That was Sebastian, of course. He told us a lot about Amsterdam. Didn't do the walking around, but he got us a lot of details about the history, stuff like that, like football even. Stories I didn't even know about the Netherlands, even though I live there. So that was really nice for me, and I hope for you as well as the viewers. We will be back shortly when we start with the pub quiz. We're setting it up right now, and then we will be back in about 5 minutes. So stay tuned and get your quiz knowledge ready.
Hey everybody, it's Otto, live from Amsterdam, where today is my favorite day of the year, King's Day. The one day that 17 million Dutchmen dress up in orange, party like crazy to honor the king. But yeah, since we all have to stay inside this year, we thought of some ways to share our so-called orange fever with you. But watch out, it's contagious. Its happiness is contagious. Here are some ways to celebrate King's Day at home, inspired
Yellow
by the
alert
locals.
phone.
We're waiting 3 more minutes before we start with the quiz because we're setting things up still. So sit tight and join on menti.com so far. So we are back again, and I see that 14 people joined the quiz so far. If you want to join the quiz, we will wait a little bit longer before starting with it. So you can go to www.menti.com and use the code 59375, and then you can join the quiz. And the prize for winning the quiz is a Withlocals live experience. So if anyone wants to win one or experience one, you can now join the quiz, answer the questions, and if you do very well, you are winning a Withlocals live experience. Also, in the meantime, if you like the stream or if you have watched and enjoyed the previous talks with the hosts and with the Withlocals employees, you can always donate if you want at withlocals.live. We also have specific merchandise on there. We have caps, we have t-shirts, even backpacks if you want. So you can always have a look over there. And let's wait about 2 or 3 more minutes. We have 16 people joined. So if you're in it to win it with the Withlocals live experience, join the quiz at menti.com. It's 20 questions. about like all kinds of things. So do your best, and once you win, please send us an email, and we will get back to you. And you can also let me know if you're all in the chat or if you are going to play. Don't post your answer in the chat. You can post it in the Menti website. That way also nobody else can see your answers. Then let's put a final timer on it of about 1 minute. Let's see. So we have 16 people, and we are still waiting for everyone to join, for everyone to have a chance at winning a Withlocals live experience. Are we all a bit excited to start with the quiz? Feeling lucky, or just being good at a quiz, having a lot of knowledge? And also after this we will round off the live stream. So this is the final part of it. Join it, be in it to win it, grab a nice drink, and then we will start within 15 seconds from now. So here we go, let's start the quiz. What is the smallest country in the world by size and not by population? You can see the answers, the answers now, the possible answers, and you have 20 seconds to answer, so... Time's up for the first question. So we have, you can see these results, and the Vatican City is the smallest country in the world. Two people had something different. Let's go to the next question, which is, which country is nicknamed the cockpit of Europe? Is it Portugal, Belgium, Ireland, or Spain? See, we have 10 answers already, 13 answers, 14. And let's see what the right answer is. It's Belgium. Luckily nobody had Spain. Let's continue with the next one. Which island does Japan's capital city, Tokyo, belong to? Now, you first have to know the islands. So here are some: Kyushu, Hokkaido, Honshu, or Okinawa. Gotta be fast. And we only had 3 people who had this correct, and the other 13 were not knowing this. Even I would have not known this, by the way. Let's go with the... Oh, okay, so this will be a bonus question for everyone, or we will just skip this one. Something went wrong here. Let's continue with the next one. Let's hope this one does work. How many white stripes are on the United States flag? Is it 4, 5, 6, or 7 white stripes? Five people had the right answers. In the end, by the way, we'll see a leaderboard on and see which person did it the best. Let's go for the next one. Which continent is the most populated? Is it Africa, Australia, Asia, Europe, North America, or South America? A lot of people had Asia, and that is indeed correct. I don't have the right numbers for you, well, the correct numbers, the exact numbers, but it is Asia. Next question. What happens to London's Big Ben when Parliament is in session? Do they strike the bells twice at the start? Doesn't nothing happen, or does a light shine above the clock face? Oof. That the light shines above the clock face. A lot of people had the bells strike twice at the start. And if I would have to give an answer, I would also have given this answer. Next question. What is the largest empire by landmass in history? Now, if you would have paid attention, someone during one of the hosts mentioned this exact fact. But which empire is it? And indeed, most of the people had the correct answer. The British Empire. How are we all doing so far? Are we feeling good? Filling in the right answers here? Let's see at the end. What is the longest river in the United Kingdom? Is that the River Severn, the River Thames, the River Trent, or the River Great Ouse? Oof. Only one person had the correct answer here. I think it was with 354 kilometers from what I've remembered. Is the River Severn. Severn. The River Amstel flows through which European capital city? Now, first you need to know the capital cities. Well, there are some here, of course. But which one is it? This could be an easy one. And of course, everybody who answered this question had it correct. It's a bit in the name, right? Amstel, Amsterdam. So far, the leaderboard. Here we go. So, Sabasa is the fastest and the first. Then we have Shemi, Reinoud, The Yarek, Matt, Caroline, T Missing Ear, Meg, Lola, and last but not least, we have Eric. Let's continue with the final part of the quiz. Which famous Italian artist painted The Last Supper? Is it Leonardo DiCaprio, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, or Raphael? At least everybody picked a famous Italian artist, because Leonardo DiCaprio is of course not an Italian artist. Leonardo da Vinci was the correct answer. Then we also have another one. This one was probably also wrong, technical issue here. But what is celebrated on July 4th in France? Let's see if you knew this. It was Bastille Day. Let's continue with the next question. Which is heavier, 15 kilograms or 30 pounds? Now, if you would calculate it a bit, a lot of people say that 30 pounds is same, but go with the next question. What is number 3 in Spanish? Is it tris, tres, trei, or tros? This was an easy one. So let's go for the next one. Which numbers are used in a game of Sudoku? Are they numbers 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8, or 1 to 9? Now pick up a Sudoku puzzle, put it in your head, memorize it, imagine it. And it indeed is 1 to 9. So let's continue with the next question. It had 9 squares, by the way. True or false? The London Eye is the world's highest observation wheel. Is that true? Or is it false? Oof, we almost have a 50-50 here, but just slightly one more person had it correct. It is indeed true. The London Eye is the world's highest observation wheel. Now, I think we are nearing the end, but before that, what is the most expensive film ever made? Is it The Avengers Endgame? Is it Frankenstein? Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides? Or Bridget Jones' Diary? Five people had the right answer, and the other 8 might have confused it with the most movie that was the biggest grossing in the box office. Next question. Which colors were on the initial Rubik's Cube? Were it the colors blue, red, green, orange, purple, black and white, turquoise, violet and aquamarine, or blue, white, red, orange, green and yellow? Luckily nobody picked the turquoise one, the violet one. It is indeed blue, white, red, orange, green and yellow. The final question this is. When was Withlocals founded? Was it in 2005? Was it in 2012, 2013 or 2016? Let's see who knows Withlocals. And indeed, most of you got this right. It is 2013. And then if I'm right, we can go to the leaderboards and see who won the Withlocals live experience. Let's see. Is it still the same? Is it still the same? Well... And... that means that Sabasa is the one with the most points in this quiz. And that means that he or she wins the Withlocals live experience. Please send us an email at info@withlocals.com with your username. And then we will get back to you. You can also send us a message on YouTube or on Twitch, wherever you're watching this, and we will hand out the prize to you. So that concludes the live stream for today. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you also enjoyed the quiz, the lots of talks we had with the other people. the panel we had, and if you liked it, you can still donate at withlocals.live, or you can send us an email, let us know what you thought of it. Maybe you want to see more of these kind of live streams. All donations, by the way, will go to our host community from within Withlocals. So once again, thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time, and we might see you back in a future live stream. Bye bye.